it's Barry. Welcome back to my channel. This is video number 3 of the planners that I'm using for 2021. As you know, I use a lot of different planners. I use them for work-related, personal, etc. And I'm showing you how I'm set up by going through each planner and then how they work together. So prior to today, if you've been watching these, you saw my setup in my Hobonichi Weeks, and also you saw how I have the sticker planner set up in a pocket, and I actually have ordered another pocket so that I can extend what I'm doing with that sticker organization, and I will be showing that to you soon as everything arrives. Very excited about that. It's really working for me. Today, what we're going to focus on is my Louis Vuitton desk agenda. And in the desk agenda, I use half-letter disc bound. Now, in the past, this was just my main planner, and then I, had lots of other planners that coordinated with it. I decided to totally switch it out this year and make it my finance planner. I've been really focusing on finances and being very organized, and this has really excited me to be totally set up for this year in this planner. So I've got the half letter with the 3/4 inch Levenger discs, which I like the metal discs really well because they turn well. I start off with a today dashboard. It just protects what's behind. I do this in almost all my planners. I have lots of them. So my first section that I have, which is a finance section, there are some pages, obviously, I'm not going to be able to show you today because it has a lot of my financial information on it, but I can talk you through, and I also have some blank pages to give you an idea of how I'm using it. But this section is notes that I have with my financial planner, and I place the notes in here in reverse chronological order so that the most current one is first, and I can see my last conversation with him if I want to follow up on something. I also manage my parents' finances, so there are some notes on that also. So my next section is budget, and I am using the side tabs from Cloth and Paper so that I can customize with my own categories here, and that works really well for me. I really enjoy this Dior quote, so I have that dashboard at the front of this section. So I can't show you my actual budget with the numbers, but what I did was I printed it off without the numbers there. I keep this in an Excel spreadsheet so that I can change things, and on some areas I have like numbers that feed into the one number that would be in this column. And if you're just starting to budget, these may be too many categories for you, but for me, these are the things that I'm spending money on and that I want to manage. Obviously, the budget that I had like for 2020 didn't work exactly the same because of the pandemic. I was actually able to save more money because, with no travel, etc., etc. So anyway, that's what I do with that. One of the reasons I love half letter is that I just have a setting on my printer. So if I have something that I want to put in here, I just print it at that, and that works perfectly. So the next section that I have is my accounts. And what I have here is, my income and lots of information about that. I have my 2020 and also my 2021, and I just used some of the little page flags to break those out. And what I wanted to show you was how I'm set up for 2021, because I couldn't really show you that other detail. So I used a couple of inserts here This one is the yearly, and then I do a monthly tracker. So I have different things that come from different sources, and those would be in the month, and then there would be a total. The categories on this page are the different income categories, so that I can then get totals going that way in annual. And I print these out just like I printed out that sheet with the categories for my budget. I use heavyweight 32-pound paper. I have tried a lot of different papers, and this one is the closest to the cloth and paper, and it's a paper that I love using, and it turns out to be less expensive than the paper that I was using, which isn't nearly as nice. I will link it below because I found a great price for it on Amazon. So anyway, I have one of these for each of the months so that I can do that. I'm keeping my 2020 in here so I can compare by month and look back and forth. It's very helpful to me. If you have a side hustle, that might be a great way for you to keep this also. The next section that I have is accounts, and I mentioned here how much I like using the half letter. Well, this is a spreadsheet I can't show you, but it goes the whole page, and I just have it folded so that it can fit in here, and I just punch it on the short side of the paper. It's just a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And that has my accounts, and there's some following account information. The next section I have is notes. And some of these are scribbled while I'm on the phone, like changing my Verizon plan, for example, or, something like that. I also have a reference section. I'm starting to keep track of things and pull more things in here, regarding like credit cards and renewal dates and things like that. I had a problem with a credit card a couple of years ago where there was fraud on it, and I had to contact everyone that I had, annual things coming through with. So I have a list of that by credit card in case anything goes wrong again, because it took me a long time to pull that together. My next section is just all of my insurance information, homeowners, car, etc. Okay, so something I'm really bad at is I have all these gift cards and then I forget to use them. So what I'm trying to do is keep a list of them so that hopefully when I'm going through here, I see this list once in a while and it reminds me, so that if we do go back to going to restaurants again, I know I have a lot of gift cards to use, and just a reminder to take them because I am terrible at that. Okay, my next section is expense. Now, I use the cloth and paper inserts in this section. Underneath this, it says monthly, but I don't do my expenses that way. I have one area for home expenses. I had to replace the clock on our irrigation system the other day, for example. So that was my first January home expense. Another area, I have some that I can't really show you in here, but I have one on services, like annual services, and when those charge through. Here in the South, you have to have pest control and termite renewals, things like that. Security system, and then my HVAC, the customer care policy. Something that if you take the time to do this, you will probably be surprised by how much you have. But I tried to do recurring costs and subscriptions to keep track of these. So what I did was, I pulled them together, and I have a column for monthly and annual, and then I use the cloth and paper stickers there. Works really well for that. If they are annual, I put what the renewal date was. And if they're a business-related expense, I love using the clean color dot by Zig because it makes nice little round dots of different sizes. Very easy to use. Okay, the other thing that I keep track of in here is orders. So I use the cloth and paper purchase tracker, and I just started a new one for 2021, but I really needed the end of my 2020 because some things were not received. Again, you know, this clean dot. There's like a little, if you can see it, there's a little circle at the end of each of these. And so what I do is once it is received, I mark it off. And I have a couple of things that were ordered in December that were not received yet. So I wanted to keep this handy so that I could go back to it. I also have a page where I happen to have like 3 cloth and paper subscriptions. I don't do any other planner boxes other than cloth and paper. It's what I love. And I get the different sizes so that I'm sure that I will have what I need for my different planners. So I just have the renewal information. And, you know, then once I renew or change it, I can swap the date out on it. And it was important to me to be able to keep track of these because I have 3 coming and, you know, just managing that information. And then I have just, you know, some additional note paper back there that I can put into any of the sections that I need. So hopefully that gives you some ideas, and it's something that I am super excited to be working with. And I will see you the next time around with my next planner for 2021. If you want to go back and look at any of the others in this series, there's a playlist on the homepage of my channel down at the bottom. That's the 2021 lineup, and you'll be able to take a look at some of those other videos. I mentioned a lot of different items in here. I try to link as many as possible in case it's something you might be interested in. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Please follow me on Instagram. Send me a DM if you have any questions. Feel free to leave questions and comments below. I really appreciate them. And see you next time around.